There are moments in life when the heart feels so heavy, it almost forgets how to breathe. The weight of old choices, the regret of words unsaid, and the echoes of guilt can quietly sit within, shaping the way each breath feels. It can make the world seem smaller, dimmer, and less welcoming, but even in those moments, deep beneath the surface of that pain, there is still a soft and loving whisper, one that says, it's time to forgive yourself. When the mind is filled with self-blame, it's easy to believe that forgiveness is something meant only for others. Many have been taught to say sorry to someone else, to make amends outside of themselves, but rarely are they shown how to apologize inwardly to the heart that has carried so much. Yet, this is where true healing begins. The heart does not need punishment, it needs understanding. It doesn't need more judgment, it needs tenderness. Forgiving yourself is not a single act, it is a gentle unfolding. It begins when you stop running from what you feel, when you pause long enough to notice that the pain you carry is only a call for love. The moment you whisper to yourself, I'm ready to let go, the body begins to relax, the breath deepens, the heart slowly starts to open again. So many people carry memories that they believe define them forever. They replay moments from the past, analyzing what they could have done differently, wishing they could rewrite the story. But forgiveness does not change the past. It changes the way you relate to it. It teaches that even within the mistake, there was something sacred, a lesson, a mirror, a moment that helped you grow into who you are today. It's natural to resist forgiveness. The ego often says, I should have known better, or I don't deserve peace yet. But those are old voices, born from misunderstanding. You deserve peace now. You deserve to breathe again. The same love you have offered others through compassion and understanding also belongs to you. Close your eyes for a moment and take a slow, gentle breath. Feel how your body responds when you soften your chest and release the tension you've been holding. This is what it feels like to open the door to healing. There's no need to rush. There's no deadline for forgiveness. It happens in quiet moments, often when you least expect it. Sometimes the hardest part is simply allowing yourself to be human, to accept that mistakes were made not because of weakness, but because at that time you were still learning. Every person is always doing the best they can with the understanding they have. As your awareness grows, so does your capacity to choose differently, and that growth is something to celebrate, not condemn. In this space of awareness, let yourself feel a small spark of compassion. You may have fallen short, but you have also risen again. You may have been lost, but you have also found your way back to love many times. Every single moment has brought you closer to this understanding, that the path of self-forgiveness is not about erasing the past, but embracing it with open arms. When you begin to see forgiveness this way, you realize it's not an act of giving up. It's an act of returning to yourself, to peace, to the wholeness that has always lived beneath the pain. You start to feel that you are worthy of a new beginning. And in that realization, your heart begins to breathe again, slowly and softly, as if waking from a long sleep. There is a kind of freedom that comes only when you decide to stop punishing yourself for things that are already done. The body holds on to every emotion that the mind refuses to release. Guilt tightens the chest, creates fatigue, and drains the spirit. But love loosens, expands, and restores balance. When you choose to forgive yourself, you are choosing to heal your body as much as your soul. Forgiveness at its deepest level is love in motion. It is the highest form of self-respect. It says, I no longer choose to live in the shadow of my pain. You begin to see that every emotion you have ever felt, even the painful ones, were simply attempts to protect yourself from being hurt again. Once you see this, it becomes easier to soften, to say to your own heart, I understand why you felt that way. Forgiveness is not about pretending that the hurt never happened. It's about acknowledging it, learning from it, and then choosing to release the hold it has over you. When you hold on to guilt, you chain yourself to a version of the past that no longer exists. But when you forgive, you step into the present moment fully awake. You give yourself permission to live again, to love again, to trust life again. Self-forgiveness is also about seeing the innocence that still lives within you. Beneath all the pain and fear, there is a childlike purity that has never been broken. The heart longs to be seen in that light again. When you say, I forgive myself, you are saying, I see the good in me. You are acknowledging that you are more than your mistakes, more than your fears, and more than what others may have made you believe. Every time you offer yourself forgiveness, your inner energy shifts, the mind quiets, and the body feels lighter. It's as if you've opened a window in a stuffy room and let fresh air in. The light of awareness begins to pour through, washing away the heaviness. And in that moment, you realize that forgiveness was never something you had to earn. It was always within you, waiting for your permission to flow. When you stop resisting and allow this forgiveness to take root, you start to feel a new rhythm within. You begin to treat yourself more gently. Your inner dialogue changes. The critical voice softens, replaced by words of understanding. It's okay. I did the best I could. I am learning. I am growing. These are the words that heal. These are the words that let your heart breathe again. True forgiveness is not a one-time act. It's a practice of love that grows stronger each day. Some days it comes easily. Other days it takes more patience. But every effort you make to release self-judgment is a step closer to freedom. Every time you choose kindness over criticism, you create space for your heart to heal. To forgive yourself is to come home to the truth that you are already whole. You have never been beyond repair. The universe has always seen your purity even when you couldn't. You are loved exactly as you are. No conditions, no exceptions. Forgiveness is the bridge between pain and peace. It teaches you that even in your darkest hours, there was something sacred unfolding. Every choice, even the ones that hurt, was leading you back to this realization that love is always the answer. And when you finally allow yourself to feel that love again, the heart that once felt heavy begins to rise. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean you forget the lessons. It means you integrate them with wisdom. You take what you've learned and turn it into light. You begin to understand that guilt and shame do not protect you. They only delay your healing. Love, on the other hand, restores everything. There is a soft power in letting go. It doesn't shout or demand attention. It whispers gently, you are free now. That freedom can't be found in perfection. It's found in acceptance. The moment you accept yourself, even with your flaws and past pain, life begins to move again. The air feels lighter. The body feels safer. The soul feels seen. When you give yourself permission to forgive, you also give others permission to do the same. You become an example of what it means to choose love over fear. And slowly, your world begins to reflect that love back to you. The energy of guilt is heavy. It keeps the heart chained to what was. It creates tension in the body, anxiety in the mind, and distance in relationships. When guilt lingers too long, it turns into self-punishment. But guilt was never meant to stay. It was only meant to point toward what needs love. Once you listen to its message, you can release it. Imagine the feeling of carrying a large stone everywhere you go. At first, you tell yourself it's your responsibility to hold it. You think it's what you deserve. But over time, your arms ache, your back bends, and your spirit tires. Then one day, you decide to place it down, not because the stone vanished, but because you realize it was never yours to carry forever. That's what forgiveness does. It helps you set the stone down. Guilt is the mind's way of saying, I wish I could have done better. But the truth is, you did the best you could. The past version of you was acting with the understanding, resources, and awareness available at that moment. When you know better, you do better. Holding on to guilt doesn't change the past. It only dims your light in the present. Each time you forgive yourself, you free the heart from another weight. It's like unlocking doors one by one until the air flows freely again. You begin to see that every experience, no matter how painful, was leading you back to this deeper truth. Love heals all things. As you breathe softly now, allow yourself to feel that release. Let the tension in your body melt. Let the heaviness in your chest lighten. Say silently within, I am willing to let this go. Feel how even the willingness to forgive brings peace. You don't have to force it, just being willing is enough. In that willingness lies the beginning of transformation. It's the shift from holding on to pain to opening to love. The universe responds to every small act of compassion you show yourself. The moment you say, I forgive myself, you invite divine healing to enter your life. Forgiveness is the soul's way of saying, I choose peace. It does not erase the past, but it changes its meaning. It turns pain into wisdom and mistakes into stepping stones. When you understand that you were always learning, always growing, you can finally breathe deeply again. As your heart continues to open, you'll notice the world around you softens too. People seem kinder. Life feels lighter. You start to experience moments of joy again, not because everything is perfect, but because you are no longer fighting yourself. This is the miracle of forgiveness. When you choose to let go of guilt and embrace love, your heart begins to breathe freely. It no longer beats out of fear, it beats out of peace. And in that peace, life begins anew. There is a quiet moment that arrives after guilt has spoken its last word. It's that small, still pause when the heart grows tired of fighting itself. In that silence, something begins to awaken, something softer, wiser, and far more powerful than the pain that came before. That something is compassion. Compassion does not rush to fix, nor does it judge. It simply wraps the heart in warmth and says, you have suffered long enough. Now let yourself rest. Forgiveness begins not with logic, but with love. The mind often wants reasons, explanations, or proofs before it allows healing. But the heart knows that understanding is not needed for release. The heart forgives because holding on hurts too much. The moment compassion touches pain, the tightness inside begins to ease. The shoulders drop, the breath deepens, and the soul whispers, I am safe again. Place a hand over your heart. Feel the gentle rise and fall beneath your palm. Feel the life that continues to move within you, no matter what happened in the past. Whisper softly, I am willing to see myself through the eyes of love. Those words hold immense power. They do not deny what has been, but they open the door for something new to enter. They invite healing. When you begin to see yourself through the eyes of love, you start to recognize that you were never your mistakes. You were always a person learning how to love in a world that often forgets how. You may have acted from fear, confusion, or pain, but the truth is, those moments were cries for understanding. The heart does not need more punishment for its cries. It needs comfort. Compassion is not weakness. It is strength in its purest form. It allows you to look at your reflection, not with criticism, but with understanding. Every scar, every regret, every tear becomes evidence of growth. You begin to realize that nothing was wasted, not even the pain, because every moment brought you closer to this this sacred awareness that love is the only thing that heals. Forgiveness deepens when you stop asking, "Why did I do that?" and start saying, "I understand now." The energy of understanding transforms guilt into grace. It doesn't mean you approve of what happened. It means you've chosen to bless the lesson and move forward. As you breathe deeply into your heart, you may feel resistance. That's natural. The heart resists only because it fears opening again will hurt. But remind yourself, opening is how healing happens. Closing keeps the pain trapped inside. Every time you breathe with love, every time you choose kindness toward yourself, another layer of pain dissolves. Now imagine looking into your own eyes, not as an enemy, not as a judge, but as a dear friend who has been through much. This is where mirror work begins. Stand before your reflection and simply look. You may feel uncomfortable at first. The mind might rush in with criticism, but stay, keep looking. Behind those eyes lives someone who has always tried, always cared, always desired to do good. That part of you deserves love. Say to your reflection, "I forgive you for not knowing better. I forgive you for believing you were unworthy. I forgive you for all the times you carried pain alone." Let those words fall softly from your lips. Even if you don't fully believe them yet, say them. Because the heart hears every loving word you speak, and with each repetition, it begins to believe. Mirror work is not a ritual of vanity, it's a sacred act of truth. It reminds you that healing is not found outside of you, it's reflected through you. The eyes are the doorway to the soul. When you meet your own gaze with love, you reawaken the forgotten connection between your spirit and your humanity. You might cry, you might feel relief, or you might simply feel stillness. Whatever arises, let it come. Healing does not need to be dramatic. It just needs to be real. Each time you stand before the mirror and say, "I forgive you," a little more light returns to your reflection. Forgiveness is like cleaning a wound. At first, it may sting, but as you tend to it with care, the tenderness transforms into strength. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to speak gently to yourself, to look into your eyes and say, "I'm proud of you for not giving up. I love you." When you speak lovingly to your reflection, your subconscious listens. It begins to replace years of self-criticism with acceptance. The old patterns start to break. The walls you built around your heart begin to crumble, and in their place grows something beautiful: peace. There is an invisible thread that connects the heart and the body. Every thought you think sends a message through that thread. When you think loving thoughts, the body relaxes, the immune system strengthens, the breath becomes deeper. When you think harsh thoughts, the body contracts, protecting itself from perceived attack. This is why forgiveness is not just emotional, it is physical healing. You can feel this when you let go. Think of a time when you forgave someone and suddenly felt lighter. That was energy returning to you. Self-forgiveness works the same way. The moment you release judgment against yourself, your entire being responds with relief. The body finally receives permission to rest. Forgiveness is not forgetting, it is remembering with peace. It's seeing the same memory through new eyes, eyes softened by love. Each time you forgive, you remove another layer of tension that separated you from your natural joy. You might feel as though the past still defines you, but the truth is, you define the meaning of the past. You hold the power to decide that what once hurt you will now teach you. What once shamed you will now strengthen you. This is the alchemy of love. It transforms all things into light. Acceptance is the next step on this path. It is the quiet realization that what happened, happened. You cannot return and change it, but you can change how you carry it. Acceptance says, "Yes, this was part of my journey, and I choose peace with it." When you accept, you end the battle with reality. You stop resisting the story that was written and begin writing a new one. Acceptance is like opening your hands after years of holding a bird too tightly. You were afraid to let go because you thought letting go meant losing control. But when you finally open your hands, the bird doesn't vanish, it flies freely, and you realize freedom was the gift both of you needed. Say quietly, "I now release all that no longer serves my highest good." These words signal to the universe that you are ready to step into new energy, and the universe responds to readiness. It begins to guide you toward experiences, people, and thoughts that align with peace. Letting go is not about erasing the memory, it's about releasing the emotional weight attached to it. You can still hold gratitude for what taught you wisdom without carrying the pain that once came with it. Every time you let go, you rise a little higher. You begin to feel lighter, more centered, more alive. Forgiveness teaches that your worth has never been reduced by your past. You are not broken, you are unfolding. You are not damaged, you are being refined by love. Each act of forgiveness polishes your soul until it shines with truth again. And as this truth begins to awaken, your heart, once heavy with guilt and sorrow, starts to breathe with freedom. It beats not with regret, but with rhythm, grace, and gratitude. The same heart that once carried pain now carries wisdom. The same spirit that once trembled now stands strong in love. You have not been abandoned by life, you have been guided by it. Every experience was preparing you for this deeper understanding. The lessons were never punishments, they were invitations to return home to yourself. Forgive gently, love deeply, and keep your heart open to the quiet miracles that follow. Each day you are healing, each breath you are renewing, each act of love toward yourself you are reclaiming your peace. And slowly, beautifully, your heart begins to breathe again, free, open, and full of light. The body is always listening. It feels every word, every thought, every emotion that passes through the mind. When the mind holds guilt, the body feels it like a weight pressing on the chest. When the heart holds resentment, the muscles tighten as if preparing to defend against an invisible threat. Yet when forgiveness begins to flow, when love is allowed to speak again, something remarkable happens. The body relaxes, the rhythm of the heart softens, the breath steadies, and the body remembers what peace feels like. Every cell in the body responds to love. This is not just poetry, it is truth. The body has always been your greatest ally, reflecting what the mind believes. When the mind repeats harsh words, the body contracts. But when the mind whispers gentle words of kindness, the body sighs with relief. This is why choosing peace is not only emotional healing, it is physical renewal. Take a deep breath now. Feel how your lungs expand, how your chest rises and falls. This simple act is a reminder that life continues to support you, even when you have struggled to support yourself. Each breath carries the power to heal. With each inhale, you take in calmness. With each exhale, you release tension and pain. You might have noticed how certain emotions sit in specific places. The heart aches when love feels blocked. The stomach knots when anxiety is present. The throat tightens when truth goes unspoken. But as you forgive yourself, these areas begin to soften. The energy trapped there starts to move again, as if life is flowing freely through you. Say quietly to yourself, "My body responds with ease when I choose peace." Feel the truth of that. The body doesn't need to be forced into healing. It only needs your permission to relax. The moment you allow peace to replace punishment, the body begins its natural process of balance. Healing is not a miracle you must chase. It is what your body was designed to do when given love instead of fear. This is where transformation begins. When you forgive, you do not only free your mind, you restore harmony within every part of you. Forgiveness is the bridge that unites the mind, body, and spirit into one loving rhythm. As you step deeper into this new awareness, you begin to notice how your thoughts shape your world. Thoughts are not invisible, they are creative forces. Each thought plants a seed, and what you nurture grows. When you repeat thoughts of self-criticism, those seeds bloom into doubt and insecurity. When you water thoughts of love and acceptance, they blossom into peace and confidence. Every moment gives you the choice to think a new thought. This is where new loving beliefs are born. You can look at the same situation and decide, I will see this with love instead of judgment. The moment you do, you change your inner chemistry, your energy, and your future. Try this gentle reflection. Take out a journal or simply sit with your thoughts and say, today, I choose to see myself as whole. Feel what those words awaken inside you. They are not just words, they are reminders of who you have always been beneath the noise of guilt and fear. It's time to write a new story about yourself, one that begins not with blame, but with understanding. One that says, I am learning, I am growing, I am becoming. When you replace guilt with gratitude for the lessons you've learned, life starts to mirror that gratitude back to you in beautiful ways. Affirm gently, I am worthy of love, healing, and peace. Let that affirmation wrap around you like a soft blanket. Each repetition sends a message deep into your subconscious, rewriting the old beliefs that told you otherwise. With time, these new thoughts become your natural way of being. As you continue to nurture these loving beliefs, you'll notice your energy shift. Your heart will begin to trust life again. Your body will move with greater ease. Even the people and situations around you will start to reflect your new vibration of peace. You are creating a new emotional environment, one rooted in self-respect, kindness, and divine trust. Now, as forgiveness settles gently into your soul, you begin to see that it's not something you do once. It's a way of living. Each day offers small opportunities to choose peace over pain, love over fear, acceptance over resistance. Living in forgiveness means meeting life with an open heart, knowing that everything that happens is guiding you toward your highest growth. When the mind wants to return to the old habit of guilt, gently remind yourself, I am learning to forgive more quickly. Each reminder strengthens the habit of peace. Forgiveness becomes second nature, as natural as breathing. The heart that forgives daily becomes unshakable. It learns to trust that every experience, no matter how difficult, carries a hidden blessing. Even challenges become messengers of light, showing where more love is needed. Let your forgiveness spill into your everyday moments. Bless the morning as you wake. Send love to your heart as it beats. Thank your body for carrying you through another day. Every gesture of gratitude is an act of forgiveness because it releases judgment and welcomes love. Say softly, every moment offers me a new beginning. Feel how those words open space inside you. Each new moment is a doorway, and forgiveness is the key that lets you walk through it. There comes a day when you realize the heart no longer hurts the way it once did. The same memories that once brought tears now bring understanding. The same thoughts that once caused pain now feel like gentle teachers. This is what it means for the heart to breathe again. The heart that has forgiven itself beats with freedom. It no longer carries the weight of the past. It moves lightly through the world, aware of its strength, confident in its wholeness. You start to live differently. You speak kindly to yourself. You choose peace when others choose chaos, and you walk through each day with quiet grace. Your heart has learned that love is its natural state. Forgiveness did not change who you are. It simply removed what was covering your light. The guilt, the shame, the fear, they were only clouds passing across the sky of your soul. Beneath them, the sun was always shining. Now your heart breathes in peace and exhales joy. Your body feels lighter. Your mind feels calm. The past no longer defines you. You are living proof that healing is real, that love truly conquers all. You may not have been able to change what happened before, but you have transformed what it means. You have turned pain into power, wounds into wisdom, and guilt into gratitude. You have learned to love yourself through it all, and that is the greatest healing there is. Each day ahead is an open page. You no longer need to write stories of regret or blame. You can fill those pages with thoughts of joy, hope, and compassion. You can live gently, knowing that forgiveness has already done its work. As this journey closes, take one final deep breath. Feel the peace that now lives within you. Feel the soft rhythm of your heart. It beats not for punishment, but for love. Whisper to yourself, I forgive myself completely, and I am free. These words are your truth now. They are the echo of your healing, the melody of your new life. You have returned home to your heart, and your heart at last breathes again.